Hey guys, this is James.
And this is Denny from TeaDB, episode 65.
Yep.
We have a right Pu'erh. This is from Mandala Tea. This is the Noble Mark. This is, I guess, pressed in 2012 from 2011 leaves, and it's a 4-leaf blend from all over China. And we're just going to give it a go.
Yep.
See how we do.
Yep.
So this was sent to us as a sample. James, do you want to go into that while I sort of prep a little bit here?
Yeah, so this was sent to us by Garrett over at Mandala Tea. And so one of the interesting things about Pu'erh, people that kind of go to Yunnan and make their own Pu'erh tea, is that they tend to really focus on raw Pu'erh. And so it's rare to find people like Garrett over at Mandala Tea that actually press their own ripe Pu'erh cakes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always kind of traditionally been a big, well, I guess it all has kind of traditionally been a big factory production. And I know Scott over at Yunnan Sourcing also does some of his own ripe Pu'erh, but Garrett over at Mandala Tea does as well. So
cool.
Excited to check it out.
Cool. So we have 7 grams here. 3 kind of big chunks and then some smaller pieces. And we'll do a couple of rinses to open the leaves up. You guys know the drill. 7 grams, 140 milliliter Yixing clay pot, and 2 rinses just off the boil.
Cool.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend who's in the sort of specialty coffee industry. And I guess they had done studies about the effect of boiling water versus not on coffees, and it turns out that it's really not going to make a big difference. It should basically just always come off with a boil. And it's interesting because with tea, it's just so different. So it makes me wonder why that is. Just more tolerant to the heat. Who knows?
Interesting.
So 2 quick little rinses here. I won't even fill this one up all the way. It is a hot day here in Seattle. What's the temperature outside?
It says it's 82.5 in here, so it's probably even hotter outside. Had the windows closed all day, trying to keep the heat out. And
yeah.
Here in Seattle, we are not used to the heat.
Not at all, especially as tea drinkers.
Yeah. It's terrible times out here, other than the fact that we actually have some sun.
It's true. That part of it is quite nice. Good to enjoy the Northwest in the summertime and run every other time of the year. Okay, so we got our first steeping here, and I'm just gonna get a little bit soaked up, but nice aroma, good color. Viscosity off of the pour feels nice and thick.
Yep.
But we don't have too dark of a brew, so I think we probably nailed the ratios. I don't know if he gave us a recommendation. I guess he did for water temperature.
Yeah, boil.
Yep, precisely.
And yeah, one of the reasons why ripe Pu'erh is always blended is that is kind of described in the description of Mandala Teas for the Noble Mark. Is that these smaller leaves are going to give off more flavor initially, and they'll die off a little bit faster, and then the bigger leaves will continue to give flavor and be a little bit slower to start, but give out more flavor later on. So the idea with blending is that you can have a more balanced, just overall tasting.
Interesting.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll taste the differences in the blend that way as well.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Okay. What do you think? I'm getting immediate sweetness.
Yep.
Not like the woody earthiness that I normally associate with ripe Pu'erh, actually, interestingly enough. Just kind of like a very nice mellow sweetness.
Yep. I feel like there will be stronger brews to be had in subsequent brews. I feel like this brew, it's not light per se, but I feel like there's more to come.
Most definitely. Also getting a little bit of vanilla. I sometimes notice this kind of strange intersection between sort of like vanilla cherry flavors and not getting the cherry, but getting a little bit of the vanilla aspect. It's nice.
I am too,
Sweet. This is taste. I can see this as being a bit more of a warmer intro tea to ripe Pu'erh.
Yep, hardly any of that nasty fermentation flavor.
Definitely.
So good
Quality.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. And that could be a product just because it was pressed in 2012 or because it was from leaves that were ripened, aged for half a year and then pressed. And that's something that people will do to make sure that you don't get that nasty pile taste.
So yeah, I think James is totally spot on. I'm not getting overwhelmed by anything on this tea quite yet. I think that it's got good viscosity already, but it's going to hopefully open up and get a little bit more intense and flavorful as the steeps go on.
It's very sweet, like you described. So very, very, I want to describe it kind of like I described the black tea from a couple episodes ago. Even though they're very different teas, it's a very friendly flavor.
Yeah.
If we're talking about like a good intro ripe Pu'erh, then I think this is a reasonable choice.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And I guess that Mandala Tea is kind of popular on steepster.
That's correct.
So, interesting. That might say something about the folks on steepster. Just kidding.
Don't hit that subscribe button.
So as you can see here, look at the viscosity or the color difference already. So I think that we're gonna open up those bolder flavors and just explore this tea a little bit more as it steeps on here.
Yeah.
And cheers.
Yeah, look at that darkness.
Yeah.
A little bit thicker, kind of like you're describing. Creamier, just stronger in general.
Mm-hmm. Well balanced. I'm getting kind of a short and sweet experience off of this. So I'm wondering if it's going to extend itself in terms of the taste as it steeps on. But right now it's kind of like a solid sweet punch of ripe flavors. And it's too bad that there's so much ripe Pu'erh out there that sometimes a sign of quality is just the lack of grossness.
But it's always a good thing. Well, not always. I suppose sometimes grossness is sought after, but in ripe Pu'erh, usually not.
I'm really liking the mouthfeel on this, actually. I think creamy in a texture sort of sense is correct as well.
Interesting. Yeah. I would say this is a very pleasant tea.
Mm-hmm. Nice and viscous. And yeah, friendly is a great way of describing this. I think we've had so much variety of ripes that we're kind of after exotic beasts, but this is a wonderful guinea pig of a ripe Pu'erh. If you were a 7-year-old and you wanted to pet.
Yeah, so bring your kids, bring your guinea pig, bring your spouses, and let's drink some tea.
Why don't you give that a smell? Actually, getting a lot more bitter.
A lot more of that earth.
Yeah, kind of cacao.
Yeah.
Sort of interesting notes off of the aroma. I
think that means that there is still plenty of flavor to be given out from that guy.
Most definitely. To this. And, we're just doing flash brews here because the tea is lasting. Another sign of quality. So you'll find that teas that can be fabricated, which is the kind of lowest extreme, will have really intense aromatic, fake oolong teas that have 2 steepings in them. It's just not the right thing.
Yep. That's even darker than the third one.
Precisely.
And another reason why Denny can steep this tea for no time is you just look and you just watch the process of pouring out from this teapot is a good 10 seconds on its own.
Definitely.
So a flash brew is the shortest brew you could do, but it's still a 10 to 15 second brew.
Absolutely. It's sort of when the beginning of when the water is hitting the leaves in the pot all the way to the last drop poured out of the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does take time. Oops.
I've been following that vanilla flavor through these steeps since you mentioned it, and it's been present in all three, but it's been slightly different each time.
I'm getting a little bit more going on now, actually. A little bit more salt, a little bit more earth.
Yeah, I'd say it's got a little bit of a deeper flavor than the previous steep. So kind of like you said, I think the sweetness is a little bit more lasting than it was in steep 1, especially, and steep 2 as well.
Yeah, this is solid. Really pleasant. This could be something where I feel like this would be a really nice daily drinker.
Definitely.
Just really solid. Good to just kind of pick up and grab. Probably has a fair amount of tolerance in terms of how you're going to brew it. So
Definitely.
You could maybe go a little bit too much on the leaves, and it would be fine. A little light, and it would be fine. I think we probably nailed it right here, but yeah, quite nice actually.
Yeah, so this is great. So where could someone find out more about tea?
Well, please check us out online. Subscribe. We are posting videos every week. So if you guys want to learn more about oolong teas, pu'erh teas, vendors, all sorts of different things, TeaDB.org is a great resource. Check us out on our website as well. And of course, check out Mandala Tea, and go ahead and, if you guys think this seems kind of interesting, go ahead and grab this. I think this is totally solid. I would recommend this.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
See you guys next time. Cheers.
Cheers.